one, you've got to slide him through so that the alligator can chew it first. And then he swallows it through his esophagus. And when it's done that way, it locks, see? Right? So, if you have a patient who is sitting at the table, feet flat on the floor, hands to the side, this is the most stable position they can be in. In our clinics, we want them to be able to put their feet flat on the floor and their hands to the side. So we would start them from a mat. If they're in a chair, like that right there, then we just want to make sure that their feet are on the floor. We're not going to use chairs for a skill check. We're going to use this right here, and these are going to be moved back. Okay? What you'll do is you'll need to kind of examine your gait belt, make sure that that's kind of the position. So the mouth is open, the teeth are ready. Okay? And then what I like to do is I like to go around. First go through the teeth, tuck in, and that will help you to get that right at waist level. Okay? Now, just something to kind of be thinking about as you go into clinic. Sometimes waist level is not a great place to put a gait belt. Some of those exceptions, I mean, I'm not going to go into depth on detail. I'll let your clinical instructors do that for you. But if you encounter an opportunity where that's just not a good place to go with one, my recommendation is to instruct your patient that you're going to put this a little higher, like right up here, okay? And you're going to go on top, like that. I'll let you figure out those situations. Okay? Alright, so that's how we start. Next, when we are going to stand our patient, right, this is assuming that they're min assist or mod assist at most. Right, max assist, they're probably also going to have balance issues. We're going to stand to the side. We're going to have them come scoot forward all the way into the front. Lean, and they need to get their center of mass over their base of support. Well, their base of support is way out in front of them. Their center of mass is way back here, so they have to lean forward, right? So you're going to cue them to lean forward and then come stand. Now, here's the thing. They can use their hands on their knees, they can use their hands on their armrests, or they can go without. It's kind of what can they do. If you're using it for sit-to-stands, then you want to take them up a challenge and try to get them to not use their hands. But if they need to use their hands, then they can. And then we're going to be behind them and to the side, right? So let's walk right over there to that table. And then this is my position for training through balance training and through strength training for balance. Yes, ma'am.
Because we're just doing balance right now, it doesn't matter which side we stand in.
Correct. So what side would you stand to if they had a right total knee?
Right.
Yeah. And which side would they pivot to if they had a right total knee?
Left.
They always pivot away, not to the involved side, right? Because that means they have to be weight bearing on that side. And that's largely why we do that. So good question. Thank you for clearing that up. So this is, the first part is box 8.3 is all those things from the textbook that we looked at earlier. So these are things that I will be looking for on your skills check. So go ahead and look at your skills check, and what you're going to notice is after number 8, everything on that skills check basically says SPTA performs appropriate safety and guarding with, and then the width is the last thing and everything else is different. But everything from there on is the same. So SPTA, you got to be appropriate with your guarding and your safety. Guarding and safety comes from this top part right here, box 8.3. I'm looking for every bit of that. Right? So you're going to avoid sharp edges. You're going to perform your exercises with people standing. They're either going to be at the table. You can take them to the parallel bars. You can take them over here to the counter. And so many of the things that we're going to do today are going to be right here. But you have to also understand, we have a very lengthy counter space right here. And so it works really well. This is not realistic in a person's home, but very commonly is in a therapeutic setting like a clinic or a rehab center. So you can use that. People very commonly don't have parallel bars in their home. And it's just not something you see. So, but you can use them. Either are optional, however you feel comfortable. Good there? It also says one in front and one behind when high risk. So make sure, if nothing else, that we identify what high risk looks like today. It also says check your equipment. What kind of equipment are we going to be using in balance training? Number one's gait belt. What else?
Possibly like a
Half circle.
type of board, like what are those called? Slam board. I don't even remember those.
I have a few of them back here. These are our tools. Right here. And so we're going to be using these. The BOSU. You know, it pays for you to check these things a little bit before. These right here, we have air pumps for. Both of these items right here. And so we need to make sure that they have good air inflation. And that's just something you can do, and you can just kind of check it real quick and say, okay, it's good. If it's too flat, then when they sit on it, that could be a little bit too much for them. If it's overinflated, you know, so just kind of consider those things. Just give it a quick look. Any other equipment that you can think of? What is it? Yeah, maybe sometimes a mini tramp. We don't have a mini tramp anymore. I'm going to not tell you the story as to why. I did see our mini tramp at the trash transfer station.
Do we have balloons? Do we have balloons?
We do have balloons somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, Bill got some last semester.